Once upon a time, in a distant small village, there lived a young athlete named Alan, whose thirst for success was unquenchable. For Alan, winning was everything, and success was solely measured by victory. His life was filled with endless training and competitions, with each win intensifying his sense of achievement. One day, a significant running competition was organized in the village, and Alan naturally became the focus of everyone's attention. He had been preparing for this day, determined to prove himself once again. On the day of the race, the entire village was abuzz. Everyone gathered to witness what was considered a sure win for Alan. As the race was about to start, an old wise man named Himad arrived at the village. Himad, a renowned sage, had heard of Alan's story and decided to witness the race himself. The race began, with Alan and 2 other young athletes running side by side. As expected, Alan won the race with his remarkable speed and strength. The audience erupted in cheers and applause for his victory. However, Himad remained expressionless, standing quietly with a deep gaze. Alan felt immensely proud and important. Soon, a second race was announced, with 2 new young and strong challengers. But the outcome was no surprise. Alan won again. The crowd cheered for him once more, but Himad still showed no emotion. Excited, Alan requested another race. Himad stepped forward and introduced Alan to 2 new challengers, an elderly frail woman and a blind man. Alan was confused and dissatisfied. This isn't a real race, he protested. A race is a race, Himad calmly stated. The unusual race started, and Alan easily reached the finish line, while the old woman and the blind man remained at the start. Alan raised his arms in triumph, but this time, the audience was silent, showing no response. Confused, Alan asked, "Why aren't they cheering for my success?" "Race again," Himad said softly. "This time, all 3 of you finished together." Hesitating, Alan nodded. The race began, and he walked slowly, hand in hand with the old woman and the blind man, crossing the finish line together. The audience suddenly burst into loud applause and cheers. Alan, puzzled, asked, "Who are they cheering for? For me, or for all 3 of us?" Himad looked at Alan, gently placing his hands on the boy's shoulders. "Young man, today you have won much more than any race you have ever run before. In this race, people are not cheering for a winner, but for those who finish together. What are you truly chasing in life? Is success only measured by victory? Who are you really racing against? If you always beat everyone, people will soon stop cheering for you. When you look back at your life, what matters is who ran alongside you. If they were weak and built, did you help them reach the finish line? Did you all finish together? Because that is the best race you can ever run. So keep running this race called life. But remember, it's not about winning. It's about how you run the race." Alan listened quietly, and no light sparkling in his eyes. He understood that true success was not in mere victory, but in how he ran the race of life with others. From that day on, Alan became not just a greater athlete, but a better person.